Hey, good Tuesday morning. Get you a cup of coffee and let's get into this devotion today. As we're talking about the parables and we're talking about the kingdom of heaven this week, I want to share this with you. In Matthew chapter 13, starting in verse 31, Jesus is telling them another parable. He says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took, he sowed it in a field, which indeed is the least of all the seeds. But when it grows, it's greater than the herb and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and nestle in its branches." When I read this parable, it's clearly talking about that God is always behind some of the smallest beginnings. See, a lot of us look at the big things of life and think that there's so much significance in big. But God looks at things another perspective, and He says sometimes some of the greatest impacts in the world start off extremely small. For many people, it even starts off being something useless or being something that's of no value. But God looks at our ability to take the most smallest beginnings, or the smallest step, or the first step of faith, or the first belief, the first time of sowing, the first time of just giving that good gesture. God looks at the smallest of things and He says it's important. And if it's placed in the right environment, it will grow to become a very big impact in the world around us. Sometimes it's just the smallest gesture. Sometimes it's just the smallest smile, the wave, the hug, the paying for somebody's meal. See, sometimes we look at some of the smallest things and we say that they don't really make the impact. But truly, in the eyes of God, it always starts small. And let me share with you, at the very part, that last part of that parable, it says at the end, the tree was so huge that it gave shelter and it gave comfort and rest to even the birds of the air. So what are you doing today that may seem small, insignificant, but one day will become a shelter and become a place of refuge for someone else? It always looks small, but in the end, it becomes very, very big and makes the greatest of impact. Today, don't despise small beginnings, because God can take small things and make it a large, large impact, and something can change somebody's world just by walking in the kingdom. I hope you have a great Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow.